on the agenda is, I think, something special and something important. Town government serves the people here in Brighton. And so oftentimes, it's real easy to focus on the local, and the local is important. Local government has a huge impact on our residents' daily lives. When you woke up this morning and it had been snowing like crazy, it was the men and women of the highway department that had been out there plowing not only the streets but the highways. Very, very local. But I think there are also times, and other members of the community, I think, very clearly believe there are times when it's important for local government to respond and address issues that are much larger in scope. We've done that over the years, various resolutions and proclamations relating often to issues relating to our commitment to the diversity of this community, our commitment that we will not allow people to be discriminated against for any number of reasons that sometimes this world has allowed that to happen. That's an important national, global issue, but it's an important issue right here in Brighton. And with the changes that are going to be coming, and with some of the things that we've all heard, the idea board, I thought it was important. You know, Councilmember Wilt also. I think all of us felt that it was important to address that. So I'm going to read this motion, or at least parts of it. We also have a letter from the idea board and a letter that I have written. But let me read at least a portion of this. Whereas the town of Brighton values and celebrates its diversity, has a history of taking action to protect the civil rights of residents and others in the town, and prohibits discrimination based on race, ethnicity, immigration status, national origin, religion, gender, gender identity, sexual orientation, ability, and other protected characteristics in the provision of services. And whereas the threat of deportation or prosecution for no reason other than immigration status may discourage residents, whether or not they have legal immigration status, by the way, from reporting crimes or injuries, cooperating in investigations, seeking opportunities for their children, or otherwise seeking or summoning help when it is needed. Whereas it is important to the effective provisions of law enforcement, emergency, and first responder services that victims report crimes, injuries, or incidents, cooperate fully in investigations, and summon help when needed. Whereas the town recognizes the rights, and again, I've skipped over a little bit here, but I think this paragraph is also important. Whereas the town recognizes the rights of all members of the LGBTQIA+ community to the fullest extent of federal, state, and local anti-discrimination laws currently applicable within the town, including but not limited to the right to marry, the right to participate in athletic and other activities, and all rights available as of the date of this resolution, or as may hereafter be added, under Chapter 77 of the Town Code, the Gender Expression Non-Discrimination Law of the Town of Brighton. And then we receive and file those items of communication, but then I'm going to read these operative paragraphs. Resolved, that the Town Board hereby reaffirms the Town of Brighton's commitment to equity and inclusion in every aspect of operations, and further reaffirms the commitment of the Town of Brighton to provide local government services without inquiring into the immigration status of individuals being provided those services. And be it further resolved that the Town of Brighton has not and does not intend to enter into any formal or informal agreement with the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency or any federal law enforcement or customs and immigration agency to enforce immigration policy in collaboration with those agencies, or to rent to, or to otherwise permit any such agency to use any town property, equipment, or facilities for such immigration enforcement purposes. And resolved that the town board hereby reaffirms the town of Brighton's recognition of commitment to the rights of all members of the LGBTQIA+ community to the fullest extent of federal, state, and local anti-discrimination laws currently applicable within the town, including but not limited to the right to marry, the right to participate in athletic and other activities, and all rights available as of the date of this resolution or as may hereafter be added under Chapter 77 of the Town Code, the gender expression non-discrimination law of the town of Brighton. This memorializing resolution shall be effective immediately, and I make the motion that I have just read. Can I have a second, please?
Second?
Any discussion?
I would just like to
Absolutely.
comment a little bit. I think it's important to acknowledge when our community members' civil rights are potentially at threat. And now that we've experienced the fallout of a federal administration that's willing to target vulnerable communities and roll back enforcement of core civil rights, consumer rights, environmental protection laws, we're keenly aware that this isn't the first time and potentially won't be the last, that we need long-term safeguards at the state and local level to protect people's rights more than ever. More than half of Americans, especially BIPOC and LGBTQIA+ individuals, suffer from violations of their civil and human rights, and we view it important as a function of this local government to ensure that our agencies are complying with the New York State Constitution and the U.S. Constitution to protect the civil rights of all individuals. So I'm supportive of this memorializing resolution that further reaffirms who we are as a community, and that is welcoming and inclusive.
Thank you. Further comments? This is who we are. This is who we are, and I am committed, and the entire town board, I expect in a moment, and town government is committed to making sure that Brighton continues to be a welcoming place. When I hear members of what might be called protected classes, when I hear my transgender friends, my friends who are looking to get married, there's a consortium of churches performing wedding ceremonies this weekend out of concern that there will be efforts to restrict marriage rights going forward. We will not allow that to happen in the town of Brighton. This memorializes our intent, and I'm glad we have an opportunity to vote on this tonight. Anything further? Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilt?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mailer?
Aye. Matters of the supervisor, I